Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a problem that, let's be honest, so many organizations run into. That huge, frustrating gap between a really brilliant strategy and what your teams are actually building day to day. We're going to explore a powerful tool designed to bridge that exact gap.
So here's what we're going to do. First, we'll dig into that strategy execution gap. Then we'll see how strategic themes can literally act as a bridge. After that, we'll look at how you actually craft them, see them in action with a real-world example, and finally, figure out how you measure whether any of it is actually working.
Okay, so let's dive right in with a problem that I'm guessing sounds pretty familiar to a lot of you out there.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Your company probably has this big, bold, ambitious vision. But then you look at the daily grind, the tickets, the tasks, the features being coded, and does it really feel connected? A lot of the time, there's just a massive disconnect. And look, this isn't just some vague feeling of being misaligned. This gap has real, tangible consequences. I'm talking about spending a whole quarter building something that, in the end, doesn't actually move the needle on the big company goals. It just slows everything down, wastes money and talent, and really hits your ability to succeed.
So, how do we build a bridge over that chasm? Well, that's where this core concept from the Scaled Agile framework comes in. It's all about strategic themes.
Okay, so what are these things? The easiest way to think about strategic themes is as the essential translator. They take those huge, often kind of abstract company goals and translate them into clear, actionable guidance that the people in a portfolio can actually use to make smart decisions.
Now, here's the thing you absolutely have to get right. Not all themes are created equal. A good theme is differentiating. It carves out a unique path for your future. But a bad theme? It's so generic it could apply to literally any company on the planet, and it gives you zero real direction.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at the bad example. Increase shareholder wealth. Yeah, of course, but that's not a strategy. That's just a result. It doesn't tell you how. Now compare that to the good one. Achieve a dominant position in the autonomous delivery market. That is a specific, ambitious North Star that can guide thousands of smaller decisions. See the difference?
And this is the crucial point. These themes are not just inspirational posters you hang on the wall. They have teeth. They actively shape where the money goes through lean budgeting. They influence which big initiatives get the green light in the portfolio Kanban, and they guide what gets prioritized at every single level.
All right, so we get it. We know what they are, we know why they're important, but how do you actually make them? Where do they come from?
Well, it's not something you just dream up in a meeting. It's a really deliberate, collaborative process. It starts with an honest look at where you are right now. From there, you explore all the possible future paths you could take. And then, this is key, you frame those goals in a way that's both inspiring and measurable.
Using classic tools like a SWOT analysis, looking at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, is what gives you that solid foundation. It helps move the whole conversation away from just gut feelings and opinions and toward a strategy that's actually informed by data.
And here's a pro tip for making sure these themes aren't just, fluffy ideas. They're often structured as OKRs, which stands for Objectives and Key Results. This is a fantastic way to ground your big ambitions in cold, hard, measurable reality.
So here's the magic formula. The objective, the O, that's your inspirational goal. It's the what. What do we want to achieve? And the key results, the KRs, they're the measurable proof. They're the how we'll know. How will we know, with numbers, if we've actually done it?
Okay, that's enough of the theory. Let's get real and make this concrete. We're going to walk through a quick example so you can see how all these pieces, the theme, the OKRs, the KPIs, all connect in the real world.
So let's imagine a fictional company, we'll call it TTC, that builds autonomous delivery vehicles. Now, instead of a vague goal like grow the business, they set this as their strategic theme. Right away, it's super clear, it's differentiating, and it points everyone toward a bold new future.
Now, look really closely at these key results. Notice what they're not. They're not tasks like build a new sensor or update the user interface. They are business outcomes you can measure. This is the big mindset shift, right? Success isn't about being busy. Success is about moving these specific numbers.
Okay, so you have these great key results, but how does the portfolio actually know if it's getting closer to hitting them? How do you know if all the work you're funding is actually making a difference?
Well, this is where your value stream KPIs come into play. Just think of these as the gauges on your dashboard. They provide that constant, vital feedback loop from the teams doing the work all the way back up to the portfolio so you can see how you're performing against those outcomes we just defined.
And this, right here, this is the golden thread that connects everything. Just look at how it flows. The high-level theme of expanding into healthcare links directly to the key result of acquiring new customers, which is then measured by a day-to-day KPI like the lead conversion rate. When that KPI goes up, you have proof you're making progress on your strategy. It's all connected, from the boardroom right down to the backlog.
This quote just nails it. It really captures their power. These themes act as a critical filter. And an epic, by the way, is just what SAFE calls a big business initiative. So this empowers everyone to ask a really simple but powerful question. Does this big project get us closer to our North Star? If the answer is no, you got to ask, why are we even talking about it?
So, to wrap this all up, here's what I want you to remember. Strategic themes are not passive goals you write down once and then forget about. No way! They are an active, living compass that should be guiding your portfolio every single day, making sure every decision is a deliberate step toward the future you want to create.
And that's really the question I want to leave you with. What is your portfolio's North Star? And if you can't answer that clearly, then how can you be sure that all the amazing hard work your teams are putting in every day is actually taking you where you really want to go?